Okay, transitioning again, guys. Here you go. We're going to start up the second half of the show. L380. And welcome back. It is gonna be wow. That just happened. Again, it's gonna be L3ID starting up again with another game. It is with Activia, with Attack Fang. It is Definitive Esports Learning League, Episode 1 carries. Again, I'm gonna be joined in by at Activia on Twitter and at Attack Fang. Hey guys.
How's it going?
Like right now we learned about AP carriers. Did you want to like develop anything else upon that from before? Attack Fan or
Yeah.
Tevia?
We a thing that's to go is the rune setup for AP carries. Generally for the red runes, you want to go some type of magic penetration. That's where a lot of AP carries go. It does switch up depending on your champion, but the most like the standard ones that require mana, ones that that the ones that require mana and ones that are generally like the average consensus for AP carries. You want to go the yellows, you want to go mana regen. Sometimes you can switch it up with HP depending on what your lane matchup is, if you're getting bursted down, etc. And blue, you can do a ability power per level, or you can do magic resist per magic resist. It just depends on what type of situation you call under, like if you get harassed a lot, or if you're going to be able to push the lane a lot. And then for quints, AP quints, you can go either spell vamp, which can give you a lot of regeneration in the lane, or you can go AP flat AP, which will give you a lot of bursts, as you saw. I believe Bird went flat AP there, and you see how much burst he did with Annie.
Definitely,
I went
indeed.
flat AP as well. It's definitely recommended for a lot of champs. The mana regen is important to some, but if you're playing a really bursty champ like LeBlanc or even Akali to a certain extent, just going Magic Pen and flat AP is really gonna do it for you.
Yep. I was about to say reiterate for those who are listening. You want your red or your marks to be magic penetration, like generally magic penetration. Your yellows to be, your yellows or seals to be mana regeneration, just flat, or you can have either health per level as well, depending if you don't have, if you're getting killed in lane as well too easily. Lastly, but not leastly, you do have your blues or your glyphs. Your glyphs are going to be, hold on, let me go pick my champion right quick for everybody to see. Your glyphs will be magic resist per level, or magic resist if you just need to have that extra armor, extra defense for the AP champion, or what is it? Sorry, AP per level, which is your damage. And lastly, but not leastly, the flat AP quint is the usual go for everybody as AP champion. I have seen some do some health quints, but usually it's an AP flat quintessences. Other than that, we are going to go to the next game. We're going to be talking about now AD carries or the attack damage kind of carries. So attack damage carries like Tristana, like Kog'Maw, like Corki, like Misfortune, rely on auto attacking a lot more. So you're going to see a lot of just right clicking, which is pretty much your move to do the kills, to do a lot of damage. You do have your skills tied in together with just trying to get the kills, trying to get all your damages in. but your skills just kind of support your attacking, your damage that you do just naturally. Anything else to say, attacking or Tibia, about that stuff?
Yeah, AD carries, you want to get a lot of like strong AD items. Most of the time, you go like get Doran's blades and stuff like that to increase your attack damage, presence in lane. There's a lot of different concepts that go with AD. There's a lot of different trading tips and last hitting, which I believe Bird will touch up on as we're playing this next game. AD carry is known for after 25 minutes being like the person that can carry the game. If they're able to kill your AD carry first, chances are that you're going to lose the team fight. So you always want to try to protect your AD carry because oftentimes your AD carry is also the squishiest person on the team.
Definitely, indeed. Tibby, do you want to go anything else about the bot lane, if anything, as well?
Yeah. AD carries usually have a support, which is what I'm playing right now. You'll commonly see, those two in bottom lane, which is great for the AD carry because, as we mentioned, they're super squishy, and if they have someone there helping them out, throwing heals, harassing, that kind of thing, it's always good for them. On an AD carry, they tend to build the core items such as Infinity Edge, which is gonna, that's pretty standard. It gives you critical strike damage and attack damage, I believe, as well. And then it makes your crits actually crit harder. So a lot of AD carries tend to rush that, as well as Phantom Dancer, which gives you the attack speed you need for your auto attacks as well. So hopefully we'll be seeing some of that in this game as well.
Definitely, indeed. Again, we'll see if it works out. There's this thing, a Sivir has a pack skin which you could win after the show or during the show maybe. But after the show, it's a pretty expensive skin, so I think they're gonna be really, really trying hard, as people would say in the business at lingo niche. Really quickly, first things off, we are going to be talking about Summoner's Rift. It's the map that we're using right now. It is a 5v5 usual map. And right now, like I always said, we had 2 minutes to prepare pretty much what we're going to be doing. We're going to be protecting Attack Vayne, who's going to be our jungler really quickly. Make sure that he gets his items or he gets his monsters that he wants to kill at the early game.
You should tell us a little something about Skarner.
Okay, Skarner is a champion that I love to play in the jungle. It's actually my favorite jungler. Skarner has he specializes in being able to impale and slow people at the same time. It looks like we have getting counter jungled up in the red buff, so I'm probably gonna have to go into their red buff soon. But like Skarner does a lot of slows. He's not really great of a ganker pre-level 6, but once you hit level 6, his impale can, drag someone all the way across, kind of like a Scorpion from Mortal Kombat type move, get over here. So it's going to be really fun playing. I'm going to try to help out bottom lane as much as I can, along with the other lanes, which is kind of the role that the jungler will do. But we'll touch on that in another week of the show. So just
Our
just
jungling
gotta,
episode.
yeah, in the jungling episode.
The jungly episode will be pretty soon. Can't disclose that yet lately. Really quickly, just with Tristana, she does attack damage. Right now she has 78 attack damage. Not really the greatest, but definitely, we'll get there soon with all the damages right here. Other than that, we are going to be securing blue, which is going to be a really early thing for most junglers. Most AD carries on the blue side, which is what the team I'm on right now, will help out the jungler if they do start blue. So definitely, if you want to get an early gank or get a really early advantage, you can definitely get it through helping your jungler.
It's
Really?
true.
Okay, good.
I was just going to say, it's called leashing when someone pokes it from the other side and it locks onto you as a target and then it has to run all the way around. So that frees up the jungler to do all the damage to the mob without taking damage themselves, and then it will reset onto them and they'll be able to finish it off. So it's a really, really helpful thing to do for your jungler.
Definitely, indeed. So we're going to be talking about carries again really quickly before I don't remember to mention. It is Definitive Esports Learning League. We're going to play in a real game right now. learning out Tristana the Megalyn Gunner. She is a AD carry that does a lot of damage with her burst at the early go from level 1 and level 5. But, like, she is a really good attack damage champion just because of her Q, which is rapid fire. Makes her shoot insanely fast. But that is for later go, so right now, my main goal right now as Tristana is to farm up as much as I can, get the items, get the health, and get whatever I can to get ahead of my counter opponent, which is Sivir, which we'll be talking about in a little bit. Really quickly, what do you feel about this lane matchup, Tivia, if you can explain, or Attack Fang?
I am always a little scared of Alistair. A good Alistair can just control and dominate positioning in a lane. If they can get behind you, they can knock you around, they can stun you, they can knock you into the air. All very scary things for squishy AD champs and supports as well, because when you are unable to move, the AD carry on their side is going to move in and just do a ton of damage without getting punished back for it. So I'm a little wary. Also, Sivir has an incredible range for an AD champ and various ways to attack from a safe distance, as you saw there, neatly demonstrated by her.
Boomerang Blade, it's
So,
so, yeah, so strong. Right now, I cannot really engage upon them, so what I'm doing right now is last hitting. Last hitting is the practice of many people in MOBAs. Pretty much the way to get gold, you either deny or you do damage to minions, but in League of Legends you cannot deny, really. You can only position yourself to you know, push out or take minions for yourself. So really quickly, I'm gonna go try to do as much pelter damage
I
with
think
my
he was trying to bait you there.
yeah.
Rather poorly.
I'm gonna try to do as much damage with my Explosion Shot with my E ability, which gives a heal debuff, as well as when I kill something, anything, it gives a little shrapnel AoE blast that kind of goes around and kind of does a little bit of damage to everybody around, like you just saw right there. Other than that, my other ability that I'm going to be using is Rocket Jump. Rocket Jump is a just jump in ability, which I may or may not use, we'll see in a second, to try to get this gank. Oh, yep.
Oh,
I
I
will
think
be
we're
using
getting
that soon.
ganked. Yeah, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming.
So I'm going to use Explode Shot to get in there. I'm going to jump, and then I'm going to do whatever I can.
Nice job, Cass. Ooh.
Up.
Wow, party down here.
Mm-hmm. Because Cassiopeia did go down as well to the bottom lane as well. What is it? So I use my E ability to not only deny the person some healing advantage, because my Explosive Shot does do a kind of an ignite debuff, which means I kind of just burn the damage and they can't heal as much as usual. But also, you know, does a little bit of DPS, which is a lot of damage just in general in the early go for levels 1 through 5. Really quickly, we are trying to engage in jungle. I think I'm going to have to help out over here
Alistair is coming to you.
as well. Yep. Alistair and the other one, so yeah.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be it.
Yep, not going to be it at all.
Yeah. This. Let it go. Yeah, this is
Fine,
gone.
get out.
Sorry.
No problem. So, I just kind of sacrificed for my team, even though I don't really needed to have to, but attacking kind of low. I don't want him to get denied too hard. I was actually kind of okay with my lane, 39 to 31 on the CS score, so we're doing okay at bottom, so I can kind of afford that, but not really afford it too much. Really quickly, we're going to be talking about a little bit of a core item build for Tristana / most AD carries. It depends on what happened in lane. If you need more sustain or if you need more gold, you definitely want to pick up another Jordan's Blade, which is pretty much health, gives attack damage, and it gives a little bit of lifesteal, and also a Vampiric Scepter, just so you can lifesteal a lot easier, per se. Some people will just rush their second level boots. Usually for 80 carry is Berserker Grease, which gives them a little bit of attack speed, but makes them move a lot faster, which what Tristana kind of really needs sometimes. But yeah, those are two ways. There's a lot of ways you can go in the early go for your core items. Lastly, but not leastly, let's go talk about Soraka, what she does for the AD carry.
Soraka is a fantastic support champion. She's pretty old school. She's been around a long time for good reason. Um, Her Q is called Star Call. It actually deals magic damage and then lowers the MR of people. Sorry, I'm watching that Twisted Fate ult there. So it's great to help out your AP carry. It lowers their MR and also does damage, and it's an AoE as well. Her second one is called Astral Blessing. It is a single target heal that can heal pretty well actually, and just like there, it gives a little bit of armor as well, so it does help out your AP carry.
AD carry.
80 carry, sorry. I'm like making sure you're not dying here. The next one is called Infuse. It gives mana to your friendly friends. It used to give mana to yourself as well, but they nerfed it because Soraka could stay in lane all day long without even caring. And last but not least, Wish is her ultimate, and it heals every single person on the map regardless of where you are. It's fantastic for team fights, great for saving other lanes, and it's just a great ult in general.
Yep, definitely indeed. Lastly, I forgot to just talk about this ultimate. I'm gonna see if I can set it up for you, but it's called Buster Shot. Kind of like the I think Final Fantasy VII Buster Blade or something, or you just like do tons of damage or something like that. It's just pretty much a knockback ult that kind of gets on one single target, can knock back other people that are in really close vicinity of the other characters, so it knocks back minions as well. But pretty much does tons of damage in the early go, in between level 6 and such. Lastly but not leastly, like Soraka as a support for AD champion, really strong. Just to stay in lane, and that's pretty much the main goal for AD carry. You want to stay in lane, get your items, and then just pillage and destroy in the later go. Looks like we're gonna have a gank at top. Attackman, can you go on that?
Yeah, I basically was... he was able to get the auto attack off, so Riven does pick up the kill. Basically, he was kind of baiting that out a little bit to kill Vladimir up top. I did possibly just waste the flash there. I might have been in range, but I didn't want Riven to die. So I flashed impaled onto him, which was able to mobilize him, and he was immobilize him, so he was pretty much getting stunlocked there. So actually, a TF gank might be happens mid. Thought it was actually gonna happen top because Riven was pretty low. But
do you think you're going to be okay for me to go home? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm out of wards, so I'm a little paranoid right now.
No problem.
Sorry, Attack Bang. Please continue.
Yeah, and being able to help top as a jungler is pretty paramount to winning the game. But we'll go on that concept next week, I think.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back as well. Just top up my Soraka really quickly. I'm gonna go buy a item that does me a little bit more attack damage. Since I'm okay, not too behind, but I'm okay right now. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna buy a Sight Ward. Really quickly for bot lane, there's general areas. You want to Sight Ward. You want to Sight Ward over in really quickly as I scroll really slowly. Right here and right here. This is right here a neutral minion monster called Dragon. Dragon gives you 190 gold per 5 people, per your team, sorry. And then you can also get an extra, a bonus in gold in general. It just gives you gold, so that's really good. You can generally ward up right here just to make sure that you can get a little bit of vision. There's a little cheap ward I usually do when I play support or AD carry right here. It gives you vision on both Tri-Bush and kind of a bit of area of the river. But really quickly, so, bot lane ganks don't usually happen behind you, unless, something happens kind of sadly for your team. But, it does usually happen from river, so you definitely want to get that warded. So, good job by the Soraka doing that.
Yeah, I typically ward the bush because junglers love to hide in there, and then I also ward try bush as well when I can get there. Looks like we're all culminating down here.
Attack
I'm
phase is gonna
coming.
pop up though. See if they'll have.
I can't reach you.
No problem. Attack
Vlad is
phase
here.
does gonna get killed, and we're gonna see if we're gonna get it out of this, but doesn't look like it's gonna be a good one.
Ooh.
Hmm?
Lots of damage coming from that TF.
Yeah, it looks like middle lane and top lane aren't doing the best right now. Sadly for now, but again, this is just a little showcase for all of us to see. But they're going to be able to take this thing, Dragon, which again is a very important goal in the early go. But not really, if you can afford not losing your life for it, definitely you don't want to
Ooh,
go
I
in
was
there.
gonna ward. Yeah, definitely not. I was gonna ward, but
Come on, good luck.
yep. Oh no, they're gonna dive me. She'll die though. Get that Alistair. Yay! My death was not in vain.
Thanks. Sorry I kind of baited you.
No, that's okay. I really don't mind.
Yeah, I needed to get some kills just to get not a little ahead in damage, but definitely to give Skarner actually something really quickly because Skarner's a little bit behind as well, but also just to get some gold for me as well because I need that gold right now. Usually with the 80 carry, if you're gonna get a ward, usually you don't want a ward where your support wards, but if you do, it's just because you probably have a little bit of an ample time in the lane presence, so you don't really need it. But usually for 80 carry, you ward the bottom rushes, so you can be extra safe and careful because there's also a thing called lane ganking, which is very seldomly used, but if they find an opportunity to really use it, it's very deadly and can cause a lot of death. So definitely getting that extra little bit of 75 gold. I mean, yeah, you want to rush your items, but being safe and not getting killed is a really, really, really good thing as well. Okay, so right now, I don't know if you can commentate over this attack thing, but freezing lane and pushing, when to do that and when to not do that.
Okay. Generally, you want to try to freeze a lane if you, for example, especially when you lose your tower, you want to freeze the lane. Like, for example, if it is like right up here, you want to try to freeze your lane. Be able to deny the other team more XP. And hold on a second, I'm gonna try to help Riven here.
Riven's
Hopefully,
going to get attacked down really quickly by Shyvana. Shyvana's chasing, but we're going to see if that's going to work out.
I'm gonna be able to bait her away from it. So anyway, like you want to try to use it. You want to try to freeze the lane when you're behind the lane, or you just want to make sure that like if they're pushing up to the tower, like for example right around here, you can freeze the lane, and it helps your jungler kind of come up and get a gank because they're pretty much pushed up directly to the tower, and there's nothing we can really do about it, or else you're just gonna lose CS. You can freeze the lane pretty easily by just kind of killing the melee minions because they like to aggro the tower, which isn't really too good if you want to try to pick up a lot of kills for the creeps. Another thing is to if you don't want to freeze your lane, you want to push the lane is when both the teams are MIA and your lane is kind of naturally pushing, so you can just kind of push the lane then, and then you can let the AD carry lose out on a couple waves of CS.
Which is what may be happening if Alistair's going to be pushing back right now. Nope, he's not, but yeah, you want to do it definitely when they're back in the shop so that they can get denied at turret, the minions, so that, you don't give them any XP, you don't give them any extra gold, so it's good. Other than that, we're about to just kind of hit this lull phase. So, in a game of lull, there is like 3 phases in a game usually. You're going to find a early game, a mid game, and a late game. Your early game, for at least 80 carries, sometimes you want to be really aggressive. With the lane matchup I had with Soraka, or lane partner I had with Soraka, you just kind of want to be a little passive, just farm up as much as you can. That's fine. Don't worry
I
about
forgot to mention, Infuse, when used on enemies, silences them. So it's a great harassing tool. That was the move that gives friendlies mana.
it. Hmm.
So use it when you can. That can prevent a lot of damage in gank attempts, as you saw before, and in team fights as well.
Yeah, we do have some action bottom here. You know, they're getting pushed out a little bit. Now Sivir does. Oh, he does get the knockup in, so that will be a death for
Tristana.
that'll
Yeah.
be a death for Tristana. Yeah.
Poor Tristana being too aggressive. So bad.
Sorry, I didn't see Alistair there.
Oh, no problem. I didn't see me either. Um, other than that, like, do you wanna go from the middle game to the early game to the late game? So your early game for Tristana is just about farming or trying to get kills. Your mid game, it depends on the support partner as well. Then your mid game is mostly about farming. You don't really have that great of damage in the later go. So you want to get your first quiet item. Sorry about that. I'm a little sick right now. But you want to get your first card item, which is going to be Infinity Edge. Infinity Edge is a really good damage item, which I think Ativia was talking about more before. You do a lot of crit, it'll do a lot of damage, stuff like that. Lastly, but not leastly, your late game for Tristana is going to be just building up your rapid fire, taking down a lot of towers, taking down all objectives.
I'm gonna need to be when I can.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're a little pushed right now, so I'll wait.
Tristan or Riven's gonna get ganked on top, so you have to try to all up at top rope, but nothing really happened there. Really quickly, do you want to go in depth a little bit about the phases and stuff? After you get those pictures really quickly, attack time?
Wait, what?
About phases in the game, like early game, mid game.
Okay, yeah. Early game, you know, you basically just straight laning phase. A lot of things like just keep farming. You know, bot or there would be some jungle ganks, there would be some mid ganks. Other than that, like not really too much oriented. That generally happens for the first like 10 minutes of the game. Then you hit mid game. Then you want to go. You want to go get some. Actually, hold on a second. Just gonna try to go around. Oh, never mind. Basically, then you want to try to mid game. You want to go. You know, start grouping together, start trying to push towers, and you know, grab dragons, grab objectives. That's when your AP carry is pretty prevalent, between 10 to 25 minutes. And late game is where you know, that's where your AP carries start to take a huge, profound effect onto the game. Hold on a second, just need to there right now. I'm gonna come over to help real quick.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
no
had
problem.
no heal.
No problem.
Oh god,
Yeah, I technically need to get out though. Oh, that's done.
that's not good.
Great stuff from Vladimir and TF right there to pick up the kill over there. But it started off good. We just traded 2 for 2 at bottom. Sorry, you're going again, attack fan?
Yeah, anyway, yeah, whatever. But yeah, anyway, basically, which, late game then is, you know, you have Vayne, you have, yeah, a lot of hyper carriers. Hyper carriers are basically the ones that, have a lot of AD scaling, a lot of, like, probably one of the hardest hitting people in the game, you know, especially when they build up at, attack speed. Tristan is a late game carry, you know, she has her, Q, which does give her increased attack speed for a certain amount of time, but other than that, like, yeah, just stuff like that for late game, and then you want to try to eventually, you know, win the game, push the Nexus, and AD carries especially help the most with that, you know, because they're able to take down towers the most.
Yeah, definitely indeed. Right now, I'm pushed back really quickly. My decision making right quick. We had an early tower loss for me at bottom. I gave up this tower right here just because I was pretty pushed behind, and also Alistair would just gain too much advantage of a lane presence, so I can't really do anything about that. So I was like, okay, well, if they take my tower, it's fine. I don't mind about that because I can just push right back after just farming up minions, which I'm doing right now. Lastly but not leastly is kind of interesting game going on right now. We're at 10 to 14 on the early go. Just playing a normal game. Just one of the definitely you know, early modes you guys can play in. for League of Legends, there's two different modes. There's normal and ranked for Summoner's Rift. Ranked is a level 30 only kind of exclusive club that you can only play there, and you can only play against other level 30s who have a kind of a system of elo. If you know what the elo system is in chess, it's pretty much the same system they use for League of Legends. So pretty much it's a rating system that ranks people per number of skills. So say you start off at 1200, which most people start off with. You go from 1200 to whatever, but you start off 50 damage, or 50 at the start, and then later you kind of go down or go up, depending on how many losses you start having to win. Yeah. And I think we're gonna do the ace, pretty much.
Yeah, we got Ace. Cassiopeia just backed away at full HP.
Ah, okay. Well, anyway, other than that, like, I don't think we're gonna win this game, sadly. Aw, so sad. Well, we could win, but it'd be a really long one. So I'm gonna go do something that, people do just to kind of push the game a little bit faster, but just to also just get used to, getting out and just playing on another. Usually games for League of Legends go from 20 minutes, or in Summoner's Rift, it goes from 20 minutes to about 50 minutes. So if you want to save time, you can use this little tool called FF, or what is it? Surrender. Surrender. So there you can kind of quit out the game and then get out if ever. But usually it requires a vote, which you see right here on the little lower right corner, and you kind of have to have a majority of people voting for you.
You definitely don't want to just leave,
Yeah.
because you will get reported and penalized for that.
Which we'll explain a little bit later afterwards. But yeah, definitely I don't think we're going to get it out of this, so we're going to go one more go with attacking in to everybody. So we'll see if that goes. But yeah, lane phase again, mid to late game right now. For me, I already have one of my items. I'm going to have to get another item, and hopefully we can get a little bit more damage coming in. But it looks like we're probably going to be staying here for about 15-20 more minutes. So we'll see if we can do some stuff. But again, check out Definitive Esports, d-esports.com, and also Esports, d-esports.com, and also Antec Inc. on Twitter, and Zawik here on Twitter as well. We tried to go for a dive there, nothing really going to happen from that, and then I think their team is going to be responding. Esports, d-esports.com, and also Antec Inc. on Twitter, and Zawik here on Twitter as well. We tried to go for a dive there, nothing really going to happen from that, and then I think their team is going to be responding really soon, so hopefully we get out, but it'll be interesting to see. Nope. So we're going to try to get out.
Oh.
But TF is going to be able to secure that.
He's
So-
7-0, so...
Yeah, this Cassiopeia.
Yeah, it's no problem. So, I mean, in a game of League of Legends, you start off with not too many friends, not too many people, right? So you're gonna learn that, maybe you should group up with people like I am with Attack Fang and Activia. But sometimes even that doesn't really help you out in the early go. But playing with friends, kind of have fun. Kind of have, sociability, and sometimes, like, we're kind of trying to play really hard, but I'm like, not really trying to play really hard. But, we're just trying to put on a good show, trying to do as much as we can right now. But yeah, other than that, Attack Fang, what else are you doing with Skarner if ever, other than
Um,
Tail and then your? Can you explain your other skills like
yeah,
PW?
my W is crystalline exoskeleton. You know, it's a shield that gives you increased movement speed, and you know gives you a shield that you know can get bursted down. I think it's about 250 at level 5. It definitely is pretty strong. Shyvana's gonna be able to use her ultimate to get out of here, which she's going to use
I think
pretty.
she
In a
can get
second.
stunned.
Actually, she's gonna use her ultimate right about now in that brush. And oh, I tried to juke us. Yeah, I'm gonna go around this way. All right.
Yay, we got
But
her.
yeah. What I try to do with Skarner is I try to like counter jungle. I try to. I don't think we can Baron, but okay.
No, 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 they're there right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But so what was it about Skarner? Oh, we have to get out.
Yeah, we do. SCP is out. Oh, he just gets
So
stunned.
it was awarded. Okay, don't worry. No, but
SCP never seems to be there. Yeah. Basically, what I tried to do is tried to counter jungle a little bit. I did get stopped at level 2. I did get lose first blood because I was trying to get a red buff because I thought that they were in our jungle, but instead that they were in they were actually they just went back to their jungle instead. But I don't know. Yeah, this will be the end of the game. But yeah, like with Skarner, you know, you want to try to counter jungle. You want to try to kind of move around, like get some ganks off, or like maybe 1 or 2 ganks off early with red buff. But you know, in this game, it was kind of difficult. There was a lot of lanes that were pushed up like really far out on the other team. So what they were able to do when they pushed out was go into my jungle and steal most of my stuff. So I was getting really behind. Shyvana was pushing pretty far out, or was taking was just taking everything from me, so I wasn't able to do it because TF would be able to go over to the side and he would just ult over, and I was just trying to like dodge 3 people in my jungle all the time. So
yeah, it is one of the things in the game of League of Legends, like the importance of just the game in general until it goes to the late game. Like the early game, I think it depends on the AP mid, your middle, your not top lane, your jungle. So if those two kind of get like destroyed or get like harassed a lot, you'll see in the early go or in the later stages where all the map control goes to pretty much the enemy team. So it kind of sucks that we lost that game, but you know, it happens. It's not really that bad of a deal. Lastly, but not leastly, I think, is there anything else you guys want to say really quickly before going into Q&A?
I'm just really excited to have this opportunity to share information about a game that I'm really, hooked on. I really enjoy it. I think if I had had something like this when I first started, I would have been a better player way earlier. I kind of had to work myself up through all the bad games before I became at least a half decent player. If you guys ever have any questions, we're always on Twitter. We're always, these guys have Facebook pages as well. Don't be scared. Add us in game, ask us questions. We're definitely free with our information, and I'm really glad I could come today.
Definitely, it's really fun having you at Tibia, as well as the Detect Fane. I mean, do you have anything else to say as well?
yeah, if I would have actually had this in the beginning, it definitely would have helped. Again, what Octavia said, it was really nice. It was really fun, going on the show. Unfortunately, we didn't win that game, but you can't win them all, which is something you have to learn in League of Legends too. But it was pretty fun. And like I'll just go back on the Xivia point before, with having this before. When I first started, it was just kind of a learn phase where it was just pretty much like a learning curve of a brick wall, if you say, because I mean you have like these 10 free champions, and you get attached to one, and then it just goes away, and you can't play them until you actually get the IP to buy them. But with this show that we have right now, you can learn the different roles, learn the main thing that everyone does, and it helps propel your game and helps make it so much better, makes it so much better of a learning experience. I know that, maybe I can get some of my friends to tune in that are newer players, and they would probably enjoy, the whole show itself, which would be really fun. So thanks for having me, Bird.
Yeah, definitely indeed. And for me as well, as everybody else has said, yeah, I wish I had this in the early go. I started playing this in June. I've never touched a MOBA. I've been playing trading card games way right before this as a semi-professional with that. And then I got into this. I was like, what do I do? How do I attack? How do I use abilities and blah blah blah. So it really really would have helped to actually have this. Again, really quickly, also thank you to our sponsors, Zowie at Zowie Gear for on Twitter, and also Antec at Antec Inc. for Definitive Esports, d-esports.com. Really quickly, we're about to go in Q&A. Don't you fret, people who are actually here for the giveaway. Definitely, we're going to see if we hit our mark to actually give away some stuff. But really quickly, to both of you guys, when do you tank creeps for bottom lane? For Tevi or Attack Fane to answer, and then I'll also answer as well. Go ahead.
When you tank creeps for bottom lane is, it doesn't really work in the early phases because, you don't really have that much HP, you don't really have much lifesteal. Once you start building up lifesteal and, when the early lane is naturally pushing, if you want to deny him more XP, you can just keep, you can freeze the lane that way by tanking the minions. It's not 100% recommended for squishier champions or ones that don't really build too much lifesteal in the early go. But it does help quite a bit in keeping the wave pushed to your tower so you don't push out and eventually get ganked and die, which is kind of the thing the thing that happens a lot of times in bot lane is you get ganked and you die, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, definitely indeed. Atevia, do you have anything to say about that?
The question was for bottom lane, correct?
Yeah, or you can talk about any lane in general too.
Yeah, because you don't do it in mid lane. You don't. You don't do it on AP carries. You see a lot of the top lane doing it just to have, control of the creeps as well. And I don't really play ADs, but you don't do it on supports either, so you'd have to talk to you guys about that.
No problem. When you can do it on supports is when you're really healthy and you know that you want to just deny the other team experience. Like that's the only time you really do it on supports. But usually it's a really questionable thing sometimes to do that because it's extra free damage for the other AD or support or AP carry or top lane, to get at you. So it's a really advanced thing to really think about, but definitely it's a really cool thing to do just because you can freeze the lane and get some experience. And going off of freezing the lane from Vampire Pig, this lane freezing thing you mentioned, what exactly do you do and when do you actually do that?
What we actually do is, a lot of lane freezing, especially when you get the tower down, is just kind of taking the creeps a little bit, just making sure the wave doesn't push to the tower. This method's done by taking out the melee creeps first, because the melee creeps do aggro the tower and do move accordingly, and then it does screw up the whole freezing concept. So you want to try to do it mainly with you want to have at least three different caster minions with you at the same time, and then they'll naturally. What you'll do is you'll freeze those whatever's left of the wave, and you'll tank it, and just wait it around a little bit until your next wave shows up, and then that's when you back off, and then you have their wave push your wave, and then you last hit the minions as much as you can. Don't try to push the wave, don't try to break it down, and make sure the melee minions get cleared out. When the wave starts to die down a little bit, and then you go up and tank the caster minions again, and then you kind of keep repeating the cycle over and over again. And then your wave will literally stay at the same spot. Especially if you do it right, the wave will stay at the same spot forever. It will literally stay at the same point unless someone does something about it. Ash, for example, bot lane, Ash comes back to lane or something like that.
Right, definitely indeed. I was about to say, you general thumb for freezing lanes slash tanking creeps. You definitely like what Attack Fane just said. Take care of the melee minion first, and pretty much stack up the caster minions. The caster minions will pretty much hold the lane into wherever you want to get to go. Lastly, but not leastly, this is a question from joining PQ. This is kind of off topic from the actual episode, but I'll also answer it. It's fine. What do you think about the future of esports as compared to right now? How will it develop in the future, and what stage is it currently at? For now, let's just answer that part. Um, Attack Variant, Nativia, what do you think as just general fans of esports in general?
I feel like esports is, it's definitely growing as a as an esport. There's a lot of people coming out. A lot of people, as you saw before, IPL or yeah, IPL Las Vegas had, over 200,000 viewers. Yeah, that's definitely big for an esport coming in, and we just keep gaining more and more and more viewers. People just get more excited. There's kind of a so you say, like, kind of a nerd culture that's starting to grow. People that you wouldn't originally see playing these video games or playing these video games, and generally enjoying it. And it's kind of becoming more of a pop culture type of thing. So it just needs to take some time. It's very new. It just needs a little bit of time because League of Legends esports is probably about when they started doing the real actual esports. Probably about what, like a year and a half old, 2 years
Yeah,
old.
I think it started really from DreamHack, but supposedly there's alpha events as well, but it's
Yeah.
pretty recent indeed. But yeah, keep on.
And actually, the first event I think Scar said that you went to for Team Dignitas, it was like probably about two. It was I think it was an IPL event, and there's a whole row of chairs like for the event, and there was only two people sitting in those chairs. So think about how that setting, and then look at IPL Las Vegas and how many people were there cheering for each team, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. More and more fans are pitching in and joining in, which is amazing for esports. And we have like shoutcasters like us, that love shoutcasting the game, and it does just and people like watching it, and just the viewership is just going to keep rising and rising and rising. I mean, for especially if you look at Korea, like Korea has a huge esport fan base, especially they actually have shifted their focus now to League of Legends, so they have a big League of Legends
Outgoing,
big,
yeah,
yeah, outgoing over there. So I mean, it's only going to grow over here, I believe.
I
yeah.
always joke with my friends, I'm like, I don't watch sports, but I'll watch a League of Legends stream for hours. Like, it's my kind of sport, you know? It's becoming more accepted. Like, people aren't going, oh, you're a video game nerd, whatever. Oh my gosh, you're such a loser. Like, it's more popular now. It's more accepted. More people, like, more celebrities are getting into it. You become a celebrity. Wow, I can't talk today. You become a celebrity, just going to these events, and like, the players are so loved, like the fans are so loyal. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger. These events are getting like really a lot of attention from a lot of different groups of people, like sponsors. Like, these kids are like real athletes. They're getting sponsored to play video games. Like, tell me that's not everyone's dream. Like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely indeed. And last little question of that, is it just getting started? Esports has been a while. It's been, I think since like Atari, since like the early game competitions from there to all the way to where StarCraft started over in Korea and from there. So literally it's been here for quite a while, like 15, 20 years. I would think that'd be about the right mark or even more because Atari is pretty old as a machine. But yeah, esports has been around for a while. It's only getting more popular right now because of streaming. Like when Twitch TV, when Ustream, when Own3D.tv, like made those sites accessible to all the streamers, all the video game players around the world. It really stepped up their monetary value. They stepped up their actual playability and likability value, and actually stepped up the sponsor value right there as well. So, you know, it's only going to be rising, I think, as well for now as we go on to the later stages of esports slash gaming. But other than that, that will conclude the first episode of Learning League. Sorry, Definitive Esports Learning League with L3RD. It was a great one. It was about carries and other stuff. And sadly for not, we did lose that secondary game. But we did have fun, hopefully. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, it's like, you cannot win them all. That would make it really boring. So you gotta take your losses in stride and just try harder next time.
Exactly. You just have to keep going. You can't win them. Actually, I think I'm at about like 700 losses, or 600, 700 losses. You can't win every single game. If you did, then, it would just be, I don't even know what fun the game would be because you'd win every single time. But, you just got to take them in stride and learn from them, especially because you learn a lot more from your losses than you do from your wins.
Definitely, indeed. And, it's been a great honor to get accepted by Divinity Esports again. This is really, really, something I didn't really think about happening until really, maybe later on in my stages. I wanted to become a shoutcaster, and I did that for another company called 10winstreet.com. It's the charity site. But when uh, they started producing content, and I was like, dude, I want to join up with these people. It's really been fun, and they are really established already, or they're establishing already. But they have sponsors like Antec and Zowie already, and like you got gear like that coming at you. That's like wow. I'm like so overwhelmed about that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it as well. Other than some of the few minor technical difficulties. Hopefully you're not really hearing this as a helicopter kind of sound right now, like rah, 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 rah. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, check me out personally at facebook.com/L3AD Gaming. Check you guys out at Twitter. Again, I think they're over by their pictures, Octavia and the tech thing, but can you repeat your Twitters again?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm at Octavia with a zero. It's 0CTAVIAH at twitter.com. Come follow me and read all my nerdy gamer quotes. It's fun.
Yeah, and my Twitter is at AttackFang. You can go. It's pretty much the way it's set up. I also have a YouTube account where I do a lot of shoutcasting. It's youtube.com/AttackFang, and I also have an own 3D account where I sometimes stream. All you have to do is put /AttackFang next to that one too. So you can go over. You can see some of my quotes. I try to. I try to mix like the kind of the nerdy quotes with some nice comedy quotes. So I just try to like go in between there. So just follow me, and I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Bird, for having me.
Oh, definitely indeed. And
Yeah,
again,
thank you for having me as well.
not a problem. Again, check out these guys. Attack Thing at everything, and Octavia at Twitter. Slash it'll be everything as well. But for Definitive Esports Learning League, episode 1, carrying with carries, it is L3D gonna be signing out. Again, guys, check out Antec, Antec Inc., and Zowie Gear at Zowie Gear.